back again. And this time I am, as promised on 3KB, my other channel, going to be telling you guys about my top 20 movies. The boys were able to do their top 5, and I think I narrowed it down to top 10, but because I said I'd do top 20, we'll do like the bottom 20, like, you know, 20 to 11, and then we'll do 10 until 1. And it'll be very exciting. So I found it really difficult to narrow down my top movies just because I like such a variety of movies. Although now looking at the list, they're all a lot of action movies with some kind of thinking movies in them, and then also with one romantic movie. But I am female, so it's gotta happen, right? But even still, it's not that romantic. Like, it's not like I picked Casablanca. So don't worry, it's still gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. I make it. To the top 20. In no particular order. First, Memento. As I've already talked about, amazing movie. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. The editing is fantastic, the acting's great, storyline's wonderful, and I love just the way it's done. That the story goes backwards. That's so cool. Like, it starts at the end, but the end is the beginning, and it just in your head. And the DVD is amazing because you can also put it going in the correct order, and even just the DVD menu. Amélie, which is a French movie, which I haven't done a video on, and I think I really need to. So it's subtitled, obviously, and Audrey Tautou, I believe is how you say her name, is in it. And it's just one of those movies that if you see the preview, you're kind of like, I don't really get what this is about. Or if you see the box, you're like, I don't know, this looks weird. There's some pale chick on it, I don't know. It's nothing like the box. It's sort of like the preview. It's one of those movies that's kind of, I don't know, if I explain it, you're gonna think, oh, it's a girly movie. I'm not gonna see that, why would I bother? But it's so good. Any guy that I've shown it to that's been like, oh, but that movie's for women, it's not for us manly men, they've watched it and they've loved it. There's so many funny parts, there's so many things that comment on life. If you like to dream at all, you'll love this movie, and I just love it so much, and I'm probably gonna also do a video on it. The Labyrinth with David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly is also in my top 20. I grew up on that movie. I used to dance around my family room to that movie. Great movie, check it out. Good music, and also the puppeteering in it was wonderful. And they also, some of it's like puppeteering with a bit of robotics, which is cool too, and there's special features on the DVD. And, fun fact, the woman, you remember Beverly Crusher from Star Trek Next Generation? She actually helped choreograph a whole bunch of the dance. Apparently she's like a dance instructor, which is also interesting. Donnie Darko is another one of my top 20. It's very dark, very depressing. It became my favorite movie, you know, in the darker teen years, but it's still so well done. The writing is amazing, and it also goes by date and time, and I like how the pacing is done that way. It has Jake Gyllenhaal in it as well, and his sister, who plays his sister. Patrick Swayze is in it, and it's basically, the story is so interesting. It's this boy, and he starts to look into time and how you can change time or how time works. There's a little bit of science in it, but then lots of kind of drama as well. Just overall, it's just so well done. It's very interesting, but I warn you now, you probably will be kind of depressed after you watch it, or sad, but it's definitely worth watching. Also, there's a song at the end, this song, and whenever you hear it, it'll hurt, it'll tug on your heartstrings slightly. Even if you are a big tough man, every guy that has seen this, I think, is at least teared up, if not full out cried at the end of this movie. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is another one of my all-time favorites. It uses stop-motion photography, which I love. I love it when they use old school tricks to work on new movies. Jim Carrey's in it, Kate Winslet, both good actors. There's funny parts, there's entertaining parts, and it's cool because a lot of it takes place in your mind, in memories, and it's all about memories and wanting to get rid of them, and then maybe choosing that you want to keep some of them. So super cool movie, definitely check it out as well. Blade is also one of my top action movies. I think it's the best vampire movie of all time, and that's why I had to include it. Interview with Vampire is good as well, but Blade just kicks butt. Get Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff, what's not to like? Kicking vampire butt sounds good to me. Kill Bill is another one of those action movies that I absolutely love. The writing's a lot of fun. It's Quentin Tarantino, and I love Tarantino. He had to have one of my top 20 spots for sure. I love his directing, I love the story, and the fact that he comes up with all the stories basically on his own, like with help obviously, but like they all start as a little seed in his head or in a conversation that he's having. Like apparently when they were filming Pulp Fiction, him and Uma Thurman were talking about ideas for this Kill Bill character, and then years later he was like, Uma, I'm done. Please star in this, my movie. So super cool, awesome movie. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't, check it out, man. Star Wars 1 and 2 are also in the top 20, but they're in the lower top 20. Number 1 is classic, so you have to like that. Princess Leia has the buns on her head, you meet Han Solo with his little crooked smile. Luke's just learning how to use things, the brother and sister kiss, it's kind of awkward. And it's just an introduction to this wonderful thing. And then there's number 2, which has Hoth, and it has a whole thing where he loses his arm, and he tells him that he's his father, and he thinks he's all ready to battle him, but he's not. Oh my god! And if you want to hear more about that, we actually have a debate on 3KB, Star Wars 2 versus 3. Also, Parish Totem is another one of my top 20. It was supposed to be a compilation of 20 short films. It ended up only being 18. 2 of them didn't make the cut because they couldn't weave them into the other stories. They just got a whole bunch of directors to pick a section of Paris and write about that area. So like Montmartre, for instance. There's a whole bunch of different sectors, and each director or director team got them. And they have amazing directors. There's some French ones as well as the Coen brothers, Wes Craven, Christopher Doyle, and then Vincenzo Natali, who did Splice and a whole bunch of other movies as well. So neat that there's some people that we know. There's some other directors that are cool and worth checking out, and then you find out that they did all these other movies, you're just like, oh my god! Super cool. And then they also have a great cast. Juliette Binoche is in it, William Dafoe, Natalie Portman, Elijah Wood, Maggie Gyllenhaal. So it's just a movie jam-packed with amazing talent, one story after the other. Some stories are better than others, some stories are weirder than others, and just a great, great movie. They did a I Love New York as well, which is worth checking out, but it didn't make the top 20. So now to the top 10.